Hello everyone, Manofinterests here, and it's time for This Week in Keyboards. And wow, the news is stacked this week. Absolutely stacked. 12 interest checks, 4 group buys. It seems like everyone's got their creative juices flowing. So let's get ready to dive into these interest checks and get a taste of the sweet nectar that is these interest checks. But before we get slurping on all these interest checks, this video is sponsored by ZealPC.net. Over at ZealPC, you can get some amazing switches. Those Zelios, great tactiles. You want some silent linears, you gotta show some Helios. Check out also the Telios and the Xylons as well through my affiliate link in the link down below. Okay, let's dive into these interest checks since we have so many. First up is the interest check for ePBT Fuyu by McNoss. This ePBT set will run on KBD fans and will feature a light colored Latin and Hiragana legends, with the colors being used for the primary set being Pantone 543U with 176U for the accents. The white ePBT color will be color matched with GMK's WS1. The sub legends, Hiragana, pretty hot right now, so I think the set will do pretty well overall. The light theme of this set is going to work well on a lot of keyboards. I think a lot of white and silver keyboards are going to like it. The set has a little bit of a GMK bento feel, but I think the light theme with the white modifier keys will work well. Neat fact, accents can be all reverse die sub because that's the only way they can be, and I hope they don't turn out fuzzy. Next up is GMK Bingsu by Rise of Project Keyboard, and this set was based on a shaved ice dish originating in Korea, which is essentially red bean on shaved ice. The red beanish color of the set is quite nice, and I like the shaved ice accent. I think Hangul Legends will do great on this set, not just thematically, but adding that extra white to the alphas will give it that real shaved ice feel and let that white pop out a bit more. Also, we see the inclusion of the double B on the spacebar kit, which means the Alice layout is improving in popularity. Yay. Next up, GMK Burnt Orange by Drifting Bunnies. The RAL and Pantone colors have been mostly picked and it's ready to go, but it looks like Drifting Bunnies is still open to suggestions on kits or colors. If you've been active in different discords here or there, you've probably seen Drifting Bunnies workshop this set bit by bit. The orange it reminds me more of clay than a burnt orange, considering the fact if you've burnt an orange, I'm pretty sure you'd get a black crisp of fruit. Regardless, the set is unique looking, I'll put it that way. I'm not entirely sure how well it's going to pan out, but if you're a fan of orange, you have another option. Our next topic isn't a key set, but it's going to be great for people working on them. Kingk22 is now offering affordable rendering services. In the thread, there are decent samples of Kingk22 skills, as well as an easy to understand pricing breakdown, which you'll see on screen now. Yay. You can also check out the thread to read it through really nice and clearly. This is a pretty good resource for people looking to get renders made for their sets, and renders these days are pretty much a requirement for interest checks. Go ahead, check out his site, PM Kingk22 if you're looking to get some renders made. More options are great for the community, especially with so many people making interest checks for keycaps these days. With ergonomic layouts growing in popularity, it's no surprise that LifeZ, aka LZ, is now working on another ergonomic keyboard. After the LZ Ergo, it's now time for the LZ PhysiX. This interest check is very, very basic. It's just a layout preview, and it's not even 100% definite yet. Plate is going to be rubber mounted, which I assume just means gasket mounted. At this point, LZ has enough clout to just tease a layout, put it out there, and know there's already a high enough level of interest that all the spots are going to sell out. What I am curious about is if LZ is going to do this group buy similar to some of the older ones, where if you were a previous customer, you had a priority in buying the boards. Otherwise, there was a small amount of first come first serve spots for anyone who hasn't bought from LZ in the past. So you ever wonder where creativity can flow from? Well, it can flow from anywhere. Ask I because the interest check running for I is for GMK Leek. Leek is it's the plants related to an onion. It's the green and white long boy. Like how the colors turn from green to white on a leek, GMK Leek is a gradient set that goes from white on the bottom to a dark green up top. I'm not really sure how I feel about this set. I know how I feel. In my opinion, most gradient sets don't look good or amazing. Maybe the set needs a bit more work. Maybe it needs a more traditional look instead of a gradient. It just needs more work. It's a start. From leeks growing on the ground to the sky above, there's no limit to inspiration. Our next interest check is GMK Astral by Natural Pack. It's formerly known as GMK Silver. It's a pretty basic interest check. Here's, a colorway, 2 variations, a dark version and a light version. The light version's better. Come on. And it feels more like a general announcement as opposed to looking for feedback or even a bit of more. It looks decent. It's here. It's there. On the other side of light is the dark, and that's what Patrisu brings us with the interest check for GMK Umbra. For a first IC, it's much better than many ICs we've seen in the past by people launching their first IC, which is a great thing to see. I think this is a simple yet pretty set. There's a lot of custom colors. There's still a bit to do on the to-do list, but for an IC, this is a pretty good start compared to what we see these days. Speaking of starts, I think we're now beginning a phase of the hobby where we're going to see a lot more Alice variant keyboards. Of course. WorldSpawn is bringing us the interest check for an Alice style keyboard with arrows. Ooh. The navigation keys are also moved from the left side of the board to the right side of the board. I think the inclusion of arrows is going to be a huge boon and benefit for a lot of people. I think living with arrows on the layer is fine, but a lot of people really love having their arrows as physical keys on their board. This acrylic layered case does seem to be a pretty great price for people who want to try out the modified version of the Alice layout. $115 for the complete kit and $45 for additional PCBs. I like the idea of this keyboard and I hope it goes well. I'm not the biggest fan of the 2 modifiers on the lower left, but this does add a Windows/Command key while still retaining a Win keyless semi aesthetic. In addition to all these goodies, there is an RGB strip header and a USB-C port. Our next topic is one I missed in the last episode, which is a set a lot of people will be looking forward to. GMK Crimson Cadet, a red version of the classic and beloved GMK Space Cadet. Color matched against Lego bright red bricks, this is going to be a very crispy looking set. It'll be running next month on novel keys and wowie, those white cadet legends on that red. It's gonna look nice. Zamon released a red set. Blotsky is releasing reds. I don't know what Europe's telling me, but red. This is a set I'll probably be in it to win it. And I mean, let's be real. This is an announcement. It's not like a real old-fashioned kind of interest check. It's going to happen. Blotsky probably doesn't need our feedback on the kits. He's probably crunched the numbers on what kits work and what kits don't work based on all the past kits he's designed and the ones I've ran from other vendors. I hope you're ready for red. And I mean Crimson Cadet, not Red Cadet, because I am. Our next interest check for this episode takes a bit of a calmer take of SA camping. It's SA Choco keycaps. That was inspired by the combination of tea and chocolate. Not sure where the chocolate's coming from, but it definitely seems to be very matcha inspired. We don't have kit knowledge yet of a kit breakdown, but these are pretty gorgeous renders. Like, come on, that's making me wish my CH66 was a translucent pink. I think the set will do well in China and probably here in the West as well. The SAQ probably isn't as long as I once memed about, but we'll have to wait and see. Although we also still need to find out if this is going to be manufactured by Max Keys or from Signature Plastics. Hopefully we find out sooner or later so we have a better idea of the pricing. For now, all we have are these renders to enjoy. Okay, the last interest check this episode is GMK High Voltage by Tokyo Express. This set seems a bit all over the place. It's inspired by wiring diagrams, control panels, high-tech looking things to bring a sense of wonder and respect for the capabilities and awesomeness of technology. While that sounds cool, I'm not getting that sense of wonder or respect. In case I'm getting a bit of confusion, and this is a hot mess of colors. I mean, certain things like those red modifiers come out a bit too strong in this set. The mix of using the orange legends for the alphas and red for the numbers and other modifiers isn't actually that bad of an idea though. I think this set could be improved upon if it was based on like an actual control panel or a wiring diagram as opposed to the idea of one. On the other hand, I really like the novelties, and the wiring diagram symbols look great. This set definitely needs a bit more work. I would like it better if the blue was just removed, taken out, or found a better use for it, because it seems to be more of just a red and orange set and a mix of those ideas, and the blue just feels like it was just tossed in for the sake of it. Okay, it's time for our 4 group buys. First off is the Equalz 0.9 Polycarbonate TKL by C3, a full CNC sandblasted polycarbonate TKL with a 7-degree slope and a brass plate is what we're seeing here today. The price for this board is $320 plus shipping plus PayPal fees, which isn't too horrible for a TKL these days. I like the weight design on the bottom, and it's definitely a bit more unique. Instead of a simple rectangle on the bottom, we get 3 rectangles and a square popping out on the bottom while the rest of the weight is internal. I think most people will have different opinions on the nameplate on top between the arrow keys and nav cluster. The nameplate is written in ancient Chinese letters according to C3, but an English one will be available. In Chinese it reads 0.9. Sorry if I ruined that mystery for anyone. I welcome another top-mounted TKL to the ranks, and I think this board will be a great buy for those who are going to hop in and grab one. I think it looks decent. Will I get one? Probably not. You know what? Yeah, probably not. No. But it's pretty decent looking. Our next group buy is over at Corner.store for GMK Merlin, which was designed by our favorite GMK wizard, Mech Merlin. It touts a colorway reminding us all of the pointy hat-clad magician we're familiar with. For the first time ever, it looks like we'll be getting double shot GMK novelties, which is pretty cool. The base kit's going for $139.99, and it will include the numpad and ISO kit, giving me a decent amount of compatibility overall. I think the set will feel at home on a white or silver board, and yeah, I don't think it'll let out those who have a dream of wonders of magic. And if you like magic, here's the GMK set for you. If you like GMK, here's a GMK set for you. If you like blue and orange and whites, here's a GMK set for you. Over on KBD Fans is a keyboard that is talked about constantly since the interest check. The Polaris by AIO3 is available for $225 without any price increase for the E white or E yellow colors. Wow. This gasket yellow flex plate will be comfortable to type on, and in addition to that, the thin 1.2mm flex slotted PCB will have that flexy feel the community has been chasing. If you're wondering what I mean by flex slotted, that means between the lower 2 alpha rows on the PCB, there's a cutout that goes along the PCB from A to dash. That will mean there is more give in the PCB while typing on it. The plate will be available in brass, FR4, and polycarbonate. The case will be available in regular, win keyless, and HHKB style tops to suit your preferences. I think for a lot of people, this price point, for what it offers, it's a home run. Straight out of the park and smashing into the window of a car in the parking lot. And you know what? On top of all of that, you're getting foam that goes beneath the plate and PCB, as well as foam that goes underneath the PCB. If you're acoustically inclined, of course. This is a lot to offer for that price, and this is going to be a great, amazing pickup for a lot of people. Like, I'm probably going to grab one to review, because how can you pass up at that price for what you're getting? Last but not least, in the group buy news is another GMK set to enter the ring for the month of August. It's GMK White on Black Hiragana, designed by Briano 1905 and running on novel keys. The set does away with Latin alphas and goes straight to just having Hiragana alphas and icon mods for that really clean look. For only $95, the base kit has plenty for most people. A big option to this set is the option to add Micon mods with the permission of Mito. It's great that Mito is given his blessing and permission to use them as a standalone kit. I think they work really well for this, in terms of the simplicity many might want in a white on black set. The colors are GMK's CR and WS1. For prices like these, it seems like common sense. If you don't already have a white on black set, or you want something simple yet unique, this is the set for you. I'll be in this set this month for sure. I'm still 50-50 about the Micon mods. Thank goodness I waited this month before spending all my money. Most of my money. I have some left. Last in the news is a bit of an announcement. I think starting next week, I'll be changing up the production schedule for This Week in Keyboards. Instead of normally a once a week show, I'm going to be splitting it up to a twice a week show. As you've seen from this episode already, it's kind of dragged on. My voice is kind of faded in and out. Like my it's tough. It's tough. But when I have 2 videos a week, we'll have shorter videos, but I'll have more time to go over each topic at hand in more detail as well. Because this week everything was kind of just like a blah, 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 blah. I do recognize that as well, but time constraints. Well, I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to check out the sponsor of this episode, as well as the links down below for my Discord channel, Patreon, other affiliate links. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. That's what YouTube cares about, and that's the life I gotta live. So, thanks everyone.